Hi, we're working on grade 3 module 4 or area. Today we're looking at using the distributive property to find area input page. Let's look at our sentences. When we have large rectangles, we can use the blank to find the area of the rectangles. We can use the distributive property. Remember that the distributive property is taking a multiplication equation and breaking it down into two smaller pieces so that we can solve each piece and then add them back together. So when we have large rectangles, we can use the distributive property to find the area of those rectangles. The distributive property lets us break a rectangle into two blank parts, two smaller parts. Okay, so let's see how it works. We have a big rectangle drawn here, and it's broken into two parts. One part is colored white and the other part is colored gray. And at the top it says how many squares and how many squares. I could count them and figure it out, or I can use multiplication. So you'll notice that if you look underneath the rectangle, there's a big equation with parentheses. Remember, we use parentheses to keep parts of our equation separate. So I have each part in parentheses so that I can see these are my two separate parts. So let's use the first multiplication equation to match the white of the rectangle. So I have 3 rows of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I have 3 rows of 3. Okay, so here, I picked up the next page. 3 rows of 10, that's where I got this to match this part. And then 3 rows of 3, 3 rows of 3. This is the gray part. So gray, white. Okay, and if I put those together, I have 3 rows, but if I count all the way across, I find I have 13 in each row. Okay, 3 rows. If you count all the way across, you get 13. I'm adding up the 10 and the 3. Okay, so 3 times 10 gives me 30 squares. 3 times 9 gives me 9 squares. If I combine those, I get 39 squares. And I can write 30 and 9 up here. So adding 30 plus 9 was a lot easier for me than multiplying 3 times 13. Okay? We can also do it if we don't have the squares, just with the measurements. So I have 3 centimeters going down, 10 across, and then 4 across. So I'm going to make the white be my first equation again. So 3 centimeters down by 10 centimeters across. Now I'm going to do the gray part. 3 centimeters down by 4 centimeters across. I'll show you. 3 times 10 right here. 3 times 4 right here. White, gray. I'm putting them together. I still have 3 centimeters down, but if I put them together, if I add that 10 and 4, I get 14. So 3 times 14. Or I can solve it in little pieces. So 3 times 10 equals 30. 3 times 4 equals 12. 30 plus 4 equals 42. Again, for me, much easier adding 30 and 12 than 3 times 14. I can also go ahead and write in the middle of here. These should be squared. 30 centimeters squared and 12 centimeters squared. So I'm just showing this is this much and this is this much. If I put them together, I get 42 centimeters squared, or square centimeters. Okay, it's time to tackle that output sheet. I will see you next time.